Mm, I had the pistol on the floor. I don't go by word of mouth. I need to
Say
see
you're
it
22,
on my
right?
own.
Yeah, I'm 22.
Independent
Okay, so
industry,
when
I
did you
put
start
some
making
pressure
music?
on my goals.
Well, I've been doing music since probably I was like, I'd say pre-K to third grade, like choir. I just like singing. My music teacher said I was good at singing. Not really as good now, but
At what age did you start writing?
writing, I'd probably say like 13, 14 years old.
What were you writing?
Just liked it.
What was the first like genre? Was it like that raps, like rap?
So I always listened to music. I never really like liked rap,
Okay.
but I was mainly an athlete like in high school, and I remember going into my freshman year. I was just trying to get good at basketball, so I'd go like to the high school fields, the football fields, and run, do little drills. And I remember listening on my Pandora, and a beat came on, and I was like, "Oh, this beat's not bad." I was about to skip it actually, and it was a J. Cole song. It was "Wet Dreams" by J. Cole, and it was the first time I ever heard J. Cole. And I was listening to his lyrics, and I was just like, man, like he's not even talking about like gangster stuff or something. He's a lyricist, and that was what hooked me. It was probably J. Cole, and then later I learned Kendrick and everybody, and that's when I fell in love with rap. But before I even like started listening to it, was J. Cole, so I just started doing like lyrics, like poetry and stuff like that.
And that's a good artist to have an influence on. Cause
Yeah,
like
that's my favorite.
Because if you like, I mean, if like Tupac and Biggie is like your influence, then that's gonna kind of shape that you're gonna rap, but not gangster rap and stuff. But since J. Cole and Kendrick, those are like big time lyricists, so it kind of, and I can tell from your penmanship, and not your penmanship, but your lyrics, that you kind of like dig deep into your story. And it's not just, like, I'm just going to write whatever rhymes. You actually, like, paint your story into that paper, and then you voice it out. So I could tell J. Cole and Kendrick were an influence on that.
Yeah, those are top two.
Yeah, and the thing about Kendrick is, and something that I related to you hearing your project, the one you made last year was Passion, right? Which is why I really wanted to bring that out before. Yeah. But the change of like of styles. I mean, it's almost like every single beat you have a different style, right? You're like very versatile with that. Is that something that was planned, or is it kind of like you hear the music and you kind of go with that, or how does that work?
I mean, for me, it's I do music just because it kind of like gets me off of anxiety.
Okay.
So I'm really just writing emotions on a beat that kind of triggers that thought of emotion, and I'll just be like, so I'm not really going in there trying to like talk about anxiety. I'm just like, this is what I feel. And it helps me because, like, without music, it's kind of, like, hard for me to deal with that anxiety. But that's where I kind of, like,
and the good thing you could do about that is you could share it, and people that feel exactly like you do, and they listen to it, that's kind of like,
and it helps people sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And music is a huge therapy. Yeah. I mean, they use that for a lot of different they use that to soothe people in different ways, in other words. So, yeah, that's amazing how music has impacted you that much. And so how did you go about doing this project? I mean, it sounds real like, free flow, almost like you freestyled the project. I mean, it was real fun. You play around with it a lot. Yeah. A lot of repetition when you need to, and it's still real lyrical. I mean, how did that go? How was the process through that?
So I had started writing that album when I was like 16 probably, and I didn't know how to post or produce or record. I kind of just, so from that, I posted when I was like 21. So from 16 to 21, I was just figuring out how to do music. Like I knew I loved writing, but I was just like, all right, you still need to learn how to produce, mix and master. There's so much that goes into it, and a lot of money too. So I was broke. You can't be broke and do music. So I had to figure out a way to fund it. And my mom, she had actually got me, she told I had like an uncle or something that was making like $8K a month selling cars. She was like, he never graduated. He just went into the business, and he's been making good money. So I did whatever I could to learn it, and just putting everything I make's pretty much going back to the music. So
awesome.
Yeah.
And your parents, were they supportive? I mean, were they supportive of you doing music? Your family were behind you? Or?
So my mom, it was hard to get her to believe it. Just because, I'm related to on her side, it's the drummer from Intocable from Zapata. So
shout out to Goblin.
Yeah. So Rene Orlando Martinez, he has a couple Grammys. So
nice.
I didn't know this until I was like 17, but I was telling her at 15, 16, Mom, I'm gonna be a rapper. And she would be like, man, like you need to make sure you do something that's gonna take care of your family in the future. Yeah. And so her biggest dream was me finishing college, and I actually chose, and I just felt it inside me that, man, I need music. I love music, so I sacrificed that. I'm gonna finish college one day, but I just knew if I didn't do this now, then I'm kind of missing that whole window of
Opportunity. Yeah,
I
right.
can't do it if I wait too long. So
Yeah.
I
It's
kind of have to
amazing.
pull the trigger. Yeah,
That's amazing. You know how many people are put in that same situation,
Yeah.
and they'll choose the other route.
yeah,
They'll be like, yes, I love this, but I need to make my mom proud. I need to make this.
Yeah.
That they don't realize that, like you said, the window of opportunity starts closing in. Some people peak at a very young age.
yeah. It's
mean,
different, right? Travis
yeah, I
Scott,
mean-
he was 27 before he blew up.
Yeah,
he
I
was
mean-
rapping since way before that. But
Way
then
before.
he used auto tune and boom. So I mean, he's found his sound.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
he just kept going. That's really it.
Yeah, and I think Travis Scott will tell you himself. It was also someone else that influenced him to do that, which was Kanye West, to change the sound, to break to go against the grain of even music, right? Because even music has its rules: 16 bars for the verse, three verses for every song. I mean, even then, people go against the grain, and they're successful doing that, right? So that's amazing that you did that. And like you said, college is there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean, you could always go back. Take it from me. I was able to go back, and I was able to, pass 5 years later after I graduated. So you always have time. That's good.
Yep.
And you're very young. You're 22, right?
Yes, sir.
It's amazing. So
Yeah.
like you got a lot going for you, man. It's amazing. It gets me excited, bro. It
I
gets me
appreciate
excited. And
To question on
Yeah.
on that journey,
Yeah.
when you had your lyrics ready, you're in Laredo, obviously.
Yeah.
So were you able to just let me buy some equipment, let me start recording, or was it like let me
Yeah.
get on social media and look for somebody to record me? Like how was that?
Yeah, so my sister actually, she one Christmas she got me it's called Machine, I think Machine Micro. It's like one of these little you produce beats stuff off
Okay.
it. It's a hardware basically, and I tried for a year, man. I couldn't figure it out. So luckily, when I went to Houston the first time, I met Gerard. He put me in the right direction, and I just figured if I could just meet the right people to help me out, and I could either pay them or just figure something out with them, it would push me a lot further. Rather than just learning it, I could find other people to help me out doing the same thing. So
How was that experience in Houston? Well, how was like your first day, like getting
Yeah.
there?
So
And the journey to
yeah.
find Gerard as well.
yeah, so I went to University of Houston
Okay.
for about a year, and I actually met him at that meeting like freshmen go and
Yeah.
So I had saw him there actually, and like 3 months before school started. 3 months later, I actually met him at the freshman campus, and I realized he does photography. I said, hey, well, I've been thinking about a movie. So I've been paying him for 5.5 years.
Damn.
Yeah, and he's so happy to do music too. So I wouldn't be even sitting here if it weren't for Gerard. He made my press kit. He makes my album covers. He does everything for me. So
What was
Yeah.
the story behind that album cover? Passion.
so that's my grandpa, and then me as a little kid.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So
That's
I mean,
awesome.
I love my grandpa. I don't really have like a father figures for because I have a dad, right? But it was just a very, I guess, like unhealthy relationship with my dad. He was kind of abusive towards my family. Well, not kind of. He was abusive towards my family.
Yeah.
So it was hard choosing music over college because I just wanted to be the man in my family that like took care of everything. But at the same time, I just had this feeling in me that was just like, man, like you're basically like killing yourself by doing that because I just couldn't.
Is
I
that
was
what?
not happy.
Is that why
Yeah.
you named it Passion?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You
I
get
see
the
it.
pain out the passion.
see
It's
it.
all that pain that I've ever dealt with. That's what made this album.
Are you working on anything new now in
Yeah.
regards to music?
Yeah, so I got another album done. We're just mixing, mastering. It's called,
Okay.
Addict.
Okay.
The only letter lowercase is I. It's just representing me. It's not really saying that I'm an addict. It's more just like the mindset that I have when I'm thinking about certain things. I feel like I'm addicted to the grind, whether it's loving somebody, whatever. It's just I feel like I get a very addictive mindset sometimes.
Yeah.
And so I'm rapping my feelings basically.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And that is passion, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's like that addiction, obsession that you get over something. I mean, it's something that you all you do is like you dream about it, you sleep about it, you're just thinking about it, you go to sleep, you wake back up, you're doing it again. It's just that same obsessive constant. And that's where you get things done, right? Like you say you got this project done in a very, very fast time.
Yeah, so
Right.
Passion, it was like 30 studio hours, mainly because I was able to afford, but I just knew that I have to get this done. I need to put it out. I guess the quality I wasn't happy with later when I realized that I should have took it more time. but since it was just my first project ever, so I was just like, man, I need to do this. I need to put it out. I remember thinking I might blow up, so I put it out, and it's not really about blowing up to me. It's just I love it so much that I want it to succeed, and I just want people to understand that like I literally would just do music like in the corner of my closet when I was a little kid. Just like that's what I did. Like as soon as I got out of school until midnight, that's what I was doing. I was just sitting there. And, yeah, so
That's it. That's what it's all about, man.
yeah.
Now, you being from Laredo and then you having to go to Houston.
Yeah.
I know you said you went to university there, right?
Yeah, for a little bit.
for a
U of
bit?
H, yeah.
Okay. So, but I mean, that has to be a sacrifice. Were you working at the time? How did that journey go? Like, were you able, like, okay, I'm not gonna go to school. I'm gonna start doing music.
Yeah.
Not only that, I'm gonna go about 8 hours away from home
Yeah.
to get this done. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, how was that? I mean, what sacrifices did you have to make? And
Yeah. I was working at, it's called Burritos. It's a burrito shop while I was working there at or doing school. I just remember it was money, right? But it wasn't enough to do what I was doing.
yeah.
And I just realized, like, man, like, I really want to do music. I'm working 8 hours at this burrito shop, probably getting $800 a week, which is decent, right? But I felt like, man, like, I'm wasting all my time here, and then I get out, I go to school, so I'm studying. It's 4 hours a day. By the time I'm ready to do music, it's 1 a.m, and I got to wake up for 9 o'clock for class. So, so I needed to make a decision. I was like, what? I just remember being in the shower actually at U of H, and I was just letting the water run on me and stuff, and I was just thinking like, bro, if I stay here, I'm never gonna get my dream. So I had to make a decision and fast before.
It was like a realization.
Yeah,
in other words.
I was
It
just like,
happens
man, like
sometimes,
I'm
right?
headed in the wrong direction.
Yeah. You just felt it. You just felt it.
Yeah, so I made the decision.
And then you're carrying that momentum now, and now you say you're working on a movie.
Yes.
I mean, that's cool. That's awesome. Not everyone does that type of thing.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, not many people even finish a project.
Yeah, man,
like it's hard. It's hard to put a whole body of work together and say, okay, this is it.
How do you decide like what
Yeah.
days you're gonna record? Like I'm gonna film this day, this
Yeah.
day for how long? Like how does that process go?
So, man, it's been 5.5 years. So the last shoot I did, I guess just to compare it to, was in Houston. I went to the studio like a week ago, and I just invite my cameraman Gerard. He'll come, he'll record the whole session just to throw it into the movie. So he's basically just like getting every timestamp of the journey from 16 to whenever I make it. I'm kind of hoping that, because I'm gonna do a show to end the movie.
Okay.
That'll be the ending of it, but I'm kind of hoping by that time's already when I'm blowing up. Put out the movie, and then there you go. Even if you don't like my music, you'll respect the movie knowing that I was like homeless and still did it.
Yeah, the
There's no
journey.
excuse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you performed at any shows?
I've performed before. To me, it's just because I get a lot of invites to shows where they'll ask me to sell tickets.
Okay.
And I just don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, I definitely sell myself, but I feel like if I'm doing a show, it's because I'm throwing the show. Like, I'm hosting it. It's my show. Like, so.
Yeah, definitely.
For me, it's just my music's out there. If you like it, love it, amazing. But my first show is definitely, I'm going to have Gerard. He's going to open. My producer, Super Nico, because they both do music. He would be second, and then I would come out last. And then just a party for the rest of it.
Cool deal.
And planning that in Houston?
So I was planning it in Laredo,
Okay.
just because I wanted some of the dealership guys to come out. But he's telling me that at Warehouse Live, we already have like a budget that could work. So I was like,
okay.
so I might do both.
Yeah, definitely.
How have people received your music? Like what's the most common things you hear?
Uh,
Is it more positive, more negative? Is it a constructive feedback, or is it like how do you feel about that feedback you get?
Yeah, man. I guess like the last year, I didn't really like use social media as much. Like I put out the album and kind of like went MIA, I guess.
Okay.
Just mental health. I unfollowed everybody on Instagram. Just kind of did a reset because I kept looking at people's stories and I was just like, man, I don't want to compare myself to anybody right now. So, but as far as feedback, all the people I knew in high school, they'll put me on their story. They'll call me and say, hey, you're doing great. And to me, it's just amazing because I remember back in high school, like everybody was like, oh, even like relationships and stuff. Like I would be with girls and I tell them like, hey, my dream's music. And then they'd be like, oh, like your dream's music. Like, so what are you going to do for money? And they'd kind of not take me seriously. And I was just like, all right, I'm going to do everything I can to succeed. Just make sure they realize that, I mean, it's not even about the money. I don't even do music full time now, and I'm still very well off right now. So I'm just, I don't really take feedback from people unless it's positive, but everything I've been getting is positive.
That's
Oh, that's
amazing.
awesome.
Yeah,
That's
so-
good. That's what we've been hearing as well.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then the new project, man, we're excited about that as well.
Nice, man.
So we'll be on the lookout for that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's talk about that a little bit because I know you mentioned two things that we just kind of went over. I mean, you mentioned you were homeless.
Yeah.
How was that experience? How did that happen? I mean, what was the status here?
So I actually remember like how they found out I was homeless. Because to me, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, man, I would always tell myself I would die for this. And homeless is not dead. So the whole time I remember thinking, man, like you're literally doing everything you can. So in my mind, I wasn't even like, dang, I'm homeless. I was more just like, bro, like you're almost there. Just keep going, keep going. And I thought I'd blow up out of it, but in reality, I'd learned sales, which has been funding everything for me so far. And even though I didn't do what I set my mind to, every man's gonna try. But if you don't, fail at some point, right? But if you don't try, you're not a man.
Yeah.
So I just tried. I said, man, like at least I'll know if I don't do rap or music or my movie, like I was homeless for it. I tried it. I could at least die knowing that like I did everything I could. And then if I can't, well then all right, I'll go back, finish college, and then.
And you said you got
Yeah.
something out of being homeless because you would
Yeah.
sleep in a spot and in a dealership.
Yeah.
And then they picked you up.
So what happened was my car, I was actually like in an accident and I caused it. So my car was in the back of the dealership and it was gonna get like serviced to get fixed. It was just I never really had like the time, the insurance and stuff. So my car was there and I was actually living at Gerard's like student dorm. So I couldn't get back to Gerard that night, and I was just like, shit, like, what am I gonna do? And not once did I think I'm gonna go back home and just like give up. I was just like, well, my car's in the back. If I just sneak to the back, so the whole mindset's crazy. It's very crazy. Like no normal person would do this, but I was like, oh, okay, well, like if I keep working with sales and I just, keep going, I'll get my music. I'll get it. So like I 3-4 months, I was there in that car, and then. Kristen, I'm gonna say her first name, that worked at that dealership. She was actually in the back. It was late at night before we closed, and she actually saw me going into the car, and she had called my GM. And was like, "Hey, like I just saw Matt like go into the car. I think he sleeps there." And this was on a Saturday, so Sunday goes by, and I'm in that car. Like I'm sleeping in the car, in the back, and it's locked. So like I would sneak out, walk down, go to like Burger King or wherever, come back, get back in the car. And on Monday, my boss comes up to me and he was like, man, like, be honest with me, do you sleep in the back? And I thought I was going to get fired. And I just said, yes, sir. And he was like, bro, like, I didn't realize you worked that hard. We're going to help you out. And I'm still to this day grateful. It really humbled the hell out of me.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's an amazing story.
Yeah.
And then it goes back to like you didn't even realize that you were homeless. Like you were
No.
you know what it was been mentioned here before, tunnel vision.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You had a tunnel vision. You had to go and you were gonna do whatever it
Nothing
took
else entered
to
my
get
mind,
that
man.
done. It's amazing. And then you look back and you're like, wait, I was in this position.
Yeah.
I mean, that's an amazing story. I'll tell you that. Right
Would you
now.
ride in your car?
Sometimes, yeah. It was funny because like a year later, after I was homeless, I was doing good with sales. I went back to Houston and I was recording my Passion for the first time. I was recording in the studio, and one of the Airbnbs had canceled on me. So I didn't have a place to stay, and like I didn't have enough money to just get another apartment or like Airbnb or whatever. So I actually did have to sleep in my car. And bro, I stayed up the whole night. I was crying and just like, bro, this is what I did for 4 months.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it again. Like if you asked me to go do that, I couldn't. But
Brought
at that
back
time,
memories.
yeah, it was just like I don't know how I did that for 4 months. I couldn't do it for a night. And I was gonna stay at the U of H garage because Gerard was still finishing school and stuff. But I was just like, man, like I can't even sleep. And so yeah. It was just a hard time at that time, but I didn't realize it. You're right.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you don't realize it. You're
Yeah.
like, man, I'm just getting it done. I'm getting it done. Like I said,
Yeah.
death will stop me from doing this, and I'm not dead. Right?
Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean,
What's the target audience for you? Like,
So I noticed that it's younger people.
okay.
So I used to care like what people my age thought, but in reality, it's the younger people
Yeah.
that are listening to it. So you got just be aware of that.
What is your plan now, and where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Next 5 years, I feel because, dang, like to me in my head and how I work, it just I'm doing it because I love it. So like it's not even about like money. Of course, I think this is what I'm the best at. So like obviously I do want to be successful off of it, but my main goal is really just I feel like the movie's gonna do a lot. I feel like it's gonna go viral in the sense that like I feel social media right now is diluted by people that just they all think they're Mr. Beast or they could just do what he's doing, and I feel like the realness in just YouTube or whatever is just not there as much as it was. You always hear that back in the day, rappers were way more real. It's no fake stuff and stuff like that. So rappers like Corday, people like that, I feel like they're bringing it back to that type of reality. So I feel like if I just keep doing myself and finish the movie, it's not about anything other than just finishing it, I'll be successful. I feel like it's just about doing it. So.
And what to you, what does blowing up mean? Like when you say that you want to blow up, does it mean like getting to a certain level of success where everybody knows you? Or
I just want my mom's house paid off.
Yeah,
You
gotcha.
feel me?
Yeah.
Like,
So it's
I
like-
don't care if I'm not famous.
So,
like as
so it's
long
like
as I get it.
financially,
Yeah.
you know, you get
I
that
just,
money.
You know, I just want to make sure that my mom's dream was me finishing college. I want to make sure, Mom, even though I haven't done that, your house is paid off. Here's this. Thank you for everything you did for me. She, off her income, I did not come from a well-off family, but she used her own income that she could have used to get a nice car or whatever. She put me and my sister into private school. So she was actually broke because she was putting us into a good school, and my sister's about to be a lawyer. I think May, she's finishing the whole law school.
Wow.
She got Rice paid off by, I think it was a Bill Gates scholarship. Last year
Oh,
they
that's
did it.
amazing. That's
Rice
good.
was paid off, prestigious
man, that's
card.
good.
So I just want to make sure take care of her, and then I'll also am a little more successful than my sister.
I got you.
That
There's a
sibling
little
rivalry.
Yeah.
Do you have more siblings than
That's
your
it.
sister?
Yeah,
Just
that's
you and
my
your
sister.
Older sister?
She's 25. She's 3 years older than me. So
What does she think about you doing music?
man, she just loves me. I love my sister. She actually does Twitch. Shout out
Oh.
to her Twitch.
Really?
Yeah.
What does she play?
I couldn't even tell you. They're games that I don't even
Okay.
know what they're called. But I
you don't play video games.
Yeah, I do, but just not the games that she does.
Okay, okay,
But
gotcha.
yeah, she gifted me actually for Christmas this year her Xbox One, so now I have an
So
Xbox.
that's what you play.
That's good.
Is that like a little hobby, like apart from music?
I actually never really played it because I didn't have it. But my sister, I know she streams. Like she's gonna be a lawyer, right? But she loves streaming. That's what she loves. So she does it all on the PC now. So she actually gifted me the Xbox. So I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
I'm just happy.
And
to
talking
have
about hobbies, what are some things that you do besides music that like kind of keeps you grounded?
honestly, sales, man. Sales, I would not be doing it if I didn't love it, but it's just the fact that you're just helping people out. I'll come have people that have very bad credit or whatever, and I'll explain to them how I could get them a car or whatever. It's just, I feel like people will buy from you if you're just a friendly person, so I just try to help, and it's great at the end when they sign that contract and they're just happy to buy it from you. So I took social media off for like a year, like I was saying with the mental health thing. But I realized just from talking to shout out Sammy The House in the back right here, Gerard Lewis. The one thing I don't do, because I sell myself in every other aspect, is sell myself on social media. And I feel it's mainly just like me being self-conscious. Like I can make any excuse in the book, but at the end of the day, it's me being self-conscious. I feel like, I'm not great enough for it yet. But in reality, I just need to take that one step, and then the next step, just keep letting it go. It's just, So I'm definitely now back in the social media game for sure.
So you don't post a lot.
Not a lot. Okay. I feel like every time I post, it's like, I'm at the studio or I'm doing this. But I definitely have a goal now to do at least 2-3 posts a month. So instead of the 0 that I'm doing right now.
A couple of stories here and there too. Let people know what you're
stuff
doing.
like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man, being interactive, because, I mean, when you stay consistent, I mean, you start getting a following pretty quick.
Yeah.
I mean, you start seeing people follow you. And one thing I told Miguel, and I mean, I've been able to prove this with guys. I've done sales before online as well. Nice. I mean, not everyone will like your posts. Yeah. They might not even comment on the post. But you know you're getting the messages. You're getting the messages, brother. People are looking. People are watching. So yeah, I sold that truck. No one liked the post, but I got 10 messages off that.
Yeah.
I get that all the time. All the time. I sell LED lights, by the way, so I got clear vision LEDs. Yeah. If you need any of your customers want LEDs, links in the bottom. No, but that's amazing. And yeah, you do have to be interactive on social media now to share your music. I mean, it's the best way to do it. Use all platforms. I mean, right now, TikTok, all the kids are on TikTok. One viral video will get you a huge amount of following.
And that's all you need, just that one blow up. It's not about if you blow up once, even if you fail, like you have that window to profit off of it. So like
exactly.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about making TikTok videos, like you on the mic and just spitting bars?
So Sarah Valdez, I was telling y'all earlier, shout out to her. She actually told me back when TikTok was growing to that, oh, you should start a TikTok, and I didn't. So I mean, I feel like yes, it definitely would have benefited me. I'm shooting myself in the foot there by not doing social media as much. I relate to J. Cole lyric a lot where he was basically talking about like I didn't think I need all the social media stuff. I thought all the music would do it just by itself. Yeah. You get me? So then I realized, oh, like you do need it. You're kind of like hurting yourself by not doing it. So and she's a perfect person to bring up. Like she's very I just know she prays. She does everything right. She's a great person. And
she's doing it the right way.
I feel, I don't even think her goal was to blow up. It was more like just how, I mean, prayer and everything, God just blessed her and realized, hey, like, here you go. Like, I'm not, like, so out of nowhere. So I just believe that the prayer is what's going to get me there. But at the same time, nowadays, everybody tells me, all right, you need social media to blow up.
Yeah, well, like it says, like, if you want to win the lottery, you got to buy some tickets, right? So, like, you got to be out there. You got to expose your music and be interactive. And, you know, me and Miguel, sometimes we get messages and we're like, man, we're very... It's very humbling when you get someone say, "Hey, I watched your show. I like what we saw," and we always want to make sure we respond to everybody. And we're just grateful. We're just grateful for one person to hear us. I mean, we're grateful. All it takes is that one person, and that could spiral into something amazing. Man.
And you got Sammy the House.
Yeah,
so that's the story. How'd y'all link up?
So, I mean, I've been doing the movie forever, and I just, I kind of just wanted. In my mindset, it was more like if I put in Sammy the House, which to me, when I was growing up, was the face of Laredo as far as like the radio. I'm giving myself credibility by putting a person that everybody in Laredo knows and like respects. So it's kind of, I hit him up out of nowhere and just asked him, hey man, like whatever I have to do to get you involved, we'll do it. I'd met him at over there by AJ's. I forget what restaurant it was. It's the same owner, but I mean, he gave me the opportunity. So, and out of that opportunity, I actually got more opportunities. So, I mean, it was just, I'm glad I messaged him.
Amazing,
He helped me out a lot.
yes, he's a golden key for the city for sure, man. He's an amazing person, and just for us being on the show early on with us, I mean, that was amazing. I mean, we were able to. You know, we got a lot of messages with that, man. We're grateful, and I was just telling him before we recorded. I mean, like I'm still soaking it in. I mean, like
I'm still telling him.
Yeah, it's kind of like with you when you have the tunnel vision. When you have the tunnel vision, you're trying to just get something done. You're trying to do something, and then you don't realize everything that's going on around you.
I always tell him, and especially Elsa. Shout out to Elsa. They both act like they're not famous. Like I know you're not Drake famous, but bro, like if I see you in public, I'm running up and saying hi. He actually helped me out with Black Pumas. Adrian Quesada from Laredo. He's the producer, so he comes out in the movie. He literally just texted him, and that was a blessing. And then Grupo Fantasma, Beto, all the guys from Laredo that pretty much have Grammys now came out in it just because of Sammy. So
that's amazing. That's awesome.
I can't wait to see that.
Yes. And I know you're working on that currently.
Yeah.
I mean, do you have a planned release date of when this might, come about, or is it something?
I could technically release it today if I wanted to. It was just more about
release it now.
It's really just more about me, like. Because I want there to be an ending to it. It's a documentary, right? So it's about my life, but I want the ending of the movie to be me, like, finally, like, doing what I set out to do, which is just performing, doing music and stuff. So I'm going to do that. And then I still haven't even interviewed myself to come out in the movie. I don't even talk yet. Like, I haven't come out yet. So I just need to do an ending interview that's going to, like, describe what I was doing at the beginning. So,
that's awesome.
Two more things, and
Oh yeah, definitely, man. And like I said, if you've been in the making, doing this for, you said 4 years now, right?
about 5 and a
About
half,
5 years now. I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah. Hey, slow and steady wins the race, brother. Yeah, you got to end that, the way you want to, and we can't wait to hear it, brother. And when you do want to release it, I hope you come back and we could, promote it here. And that's amazing, brother. Not
Definitely,
every
man. Yeah.
Yeah, we want to hear more about that story for sure, boss.
Yeah.
Man, Matthew, you're an amazing person. You're very humbling. Like I said, we love your music. Anything else you might want to say? Any advice you might have for someone was in your same position, growing up, and they're right in the middle of not following their dreams or like going on whatever else someone says and just going that path.
Any words of encouragement?
Yeah. I mean, me personally, because I remember just being a kid and my dad, he was very abusive towards my mom. My grandpa even, I'm not going to say his name because, but he would lock my grandpa in closets and stuff and, like, leave him there until he listened to my dad. Like, just absurd stuff. And, I mean, to me, just going through all that, really my mom, I don't know how she made it through, but she did. God bless her. Just realized that because at the time, I remember one time specifically that I had got arrested when I was younger for smoking weed. And at the time, I didn't think, I was affecting anybody. My mom's a CPS worker. Like, she works with Child Protective Services, and she's always at the court. And when you see your son in that same courtroom, you kind of feel like, hey, like, what did I do wrong with my son? And my only advice is just realize that your parents do so much for you that you don't realize. Because it wasn't until after that I realized everything my mom sacrificed for me. She was putting her income towards private school, being broke, just so I wouldn't go down that path. And I just feel that it doesn't matter even if you're a rapper. Like, it's not about, I smoke weed, I do this or that. It's just about do it because you love it, man. Like,
exactly.
I love music. Like, I'm not claiming I'm a gangster or nothing. I was around that type of lifestyle, but, like, that's not the point of what we're doing. You just need to make sure that everything you do, somebody's going to be affected by it, especially if you're successful. So just make sure you think about the other people in your life, man, because I've sacrificed relationships, a lot of things just to make music my one priority. And that's what you have to do to be successful. I wouldn't change anything, but definitely love your parents while they're here, take care of them, and just do whatever you can to not disrespect your mom or your parents, whoever you have. It's just that's the only regret I ever had, embarrassing her, and I'm gonna do whatever I have to do to fix it for sure.
Because every single time that I feel like someone watches this show, someone could relate to that exact same moment. People are going through that every single day, and you're right, man. There's some certain sacrifices you have to make, but at the end of the day, I mean, that's what it takes to make it happen. Right? Awesome, brother. We hope to hear that project soon. And man.
Thank you to Sammy the House for pointing us in the right
exactly,
direction.
man. Bringing in the right people here, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Subscribe, like, and comment.
Yes, we'll also put a link out for Matthew, right? We'll put a link on there. Check him out on Spotify, his album Passion, and check out for what's to come. Sammy, I'm so happy you're back, and honestly, man, I'm just humbled and.
In the flex.
Yeah, in the flex,
in
man.
the flex podcast.
Flexing, man.
I like this. I asked again to be here.
This is part 2, baby. This is part 2.
Yes, and we just finished an amazing pod right now with Matthew Cervantes.
Yes, Matthew Cervantes, great guy.
Amazing story.
That dude.
I mean, it's so moving and it's inspiring, brother.
Good kid.
It really is, man. How did you go about meeting him? I mean, how did that happen?
Look, man, I'm not. I've said it before. I'm not hard to get a hold of. I'm very approachable. And if you ask me, hey, man, let's hang out, I'll be like, okay, let's hang out. And so Matthew said, let's hang out, and I decided to be nice and help him out.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And you bring him in here. I mean, you hearing his story. I mean, how did that move you? I mean,
there's so many things that we could talk about Matthew and his story, but honestly, listen to the music. Yeah. Check out the documentary when it comes out. Yes. And plain and simple, people ask me, well, how come you help him and how come you don't help me? And people all the time, why don't you help me out? Let me tell you straight out, first point, there's a lot of locals in Laredo, a lot of local artists that do not need my help. Okay? And if you ask me for help, I'll be glad to add on to whatever else you're doing. So, but the one thing, sometimes I don't help people. And the reason that I don't help is for 2 reasons. Number one, negativity.
Yeah.
If you're a negative person, I'm not going to help you bring more negativity to the world. Number two, if you are doing things the right way and you're working hard, when you work hard, things come easier to you.
Yeah.
Matthew's a hard worker. Matthew's a hard worker, and if he's doing things the right way, I'm going to help him out, especially when he's got talent. He's got talent, and even if you don't got talent, if you're doing things the right way, I'll help you out. If you listen to criticism, I'll help you out. If you can take criticism maturely, I'll help you out. So I like helping people out like that. Matthew deserves help. Matthew's a hard worker. Matthew's mature, and Matthew is doing everything he possibly can. And on top of that, he's talented. So that's why I helped him out. Everyone deserves help. Yeah. And when you help people, it'll come back to you. I'm a strong believer in karma. And when you deserve the help, I will gladly give it. And hopefully God will send me something back.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, go check out Matthew Cervantes. Go check out his current music. It's called Pain. Oh, Passion, but Pain sticks out of there. You have to read the title because there's passion and there's pain in the title. That's the one thing that he didn't tell. You guys didn't ask that.
I noticed that.
There's hidden messages in his albums, and the next album, Addict, also has a hidden message in it. You have to look at the titles, dude. There's weird things. This guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah, and I know there was a lot there. Because I saw some caps, some little caps, some lowercase. I'm like, what is that?
Matthew won't tell you. I don't know why he won't tell you, but there's hidden messages in everything and what he's doing.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to
He's a sneaky and kind of creepy guy. He seems like, oh, he's humble. No, he's a little creeper too. Matthew's got some stuff. That's it. It's 5 minutes. No more. You can tune out now.
Listen to me close, Jesus. I just need to focus. Please take away anxiety, take away the rights in me. Oh, motherfucker, pray. Yeah, I just do me every day. I just gotta keep going. Baby girl, she annoying. Get that girl Bruce.